Welcome to the Untrained Experts, a podcast for combat sports and fight news.
Welcome back to Untrained Experts, episode number 24.
What's going on, podcast world? Shoot.
Oh man, not much.
Well, guys, we ran into some technical difficulties Saturday. We wanted to get you guys a kind of a fight companion live reaction to what was it, UFC 242?
Mm-hmm.
And it was a really good card. And we were having some, I guess, issues you could say with ESPN Plus.
Man,
shitty.
they got to get their shit together, man.
The streaming was terrible.
It wasn't.
No wonder people are bootlegging all these cards and not wanting to pay the money, because not only are they having to go through two paywalls, but people like us, and it's obviously not everybody, but there's a handful of people, you know.
It wasn't just
a percentage of people who are obviously having troubles getting into the servers. And
well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It wasn't on our end either. It was the server. It kept telling us the server error.
At the end of the fight, when it was over, and everything was dying down, you could tell that they quit buffering and stuff, because you knew people were getting out of the server, and they stopped watching it. So we were having trouble loading, or we weren't having trouble loading it then like we were before.
Yeah. The server crashed on us multiple times and would just kick us out, and we couldn't. We'd have to switch over to our phones, and it's like we would get in on that part of the server, then that would start buffering, then the TV would start working again.
Yeah, we had a really good podcast going too, actually, where we were giving live reactions and like coverage on the fight.
Yeah.
It was really awesome, and
it was fun.
Yeah, we were like 10 minutes in, and it just I don't know, everything just kept screwing up out of nowhere. So we kind of decided to just not do it and just record a normal podcast this week.
It sucks though, man. It was fun, and we were having a lot of fun. We had some whiskey going. We were just sitting here chilling, watching the fights.
We were having a really good time. You know, kind of giving our breakdown of the fight while it was going on.
I commented on, I think it was Joe Rogan's post on Facebook, whenever he posted something about the fight. It was like right after, or like later that evening or something like that. And I commented on something about the server kicking us out. Or I said ESPN Plus streaming was shit or whatever. Yeah. And of course somebody commented on it, it's like, oh yeah, for sure blame the streaming service for problems on your end. And I was like, nah, bro, it didn't really work like that. I mean, it was a server issue that kicked us out. Yeah, and another guy,
it had nothing to do with our connection or Wi-Fi or anything.
Another guy commented on it and said, oh shit, what did he say? Oh damn. Let's just say other avenues worked pretty well with a little winky face.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Like
they do.
Illegal streaming.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, we were so close to going with that. Like,
yeah, if we had an illegal stream, it probably would have worked fine.
He said it was crystal clear.
Yeah.
And worked perfect.
Exactly. That makes no sense to me. I mean, the fact that we ran into so many problems. First of all, I mean, we on the internet connection we were running the fight on, we had no problem loading YouTube and all kinds of other stuff. So it's definitely not. It wasn't on our end.
It just sucks to pay $66. It was $66 after tax.
Well, yeah,
for this pay-per-view.
When it's this important of a card we're trying to watch.
Yeah, we got to watch 3 full fights.
We're also trying to record a podcast. Like, we're doing something like important to us, and they're screwing it up after we just paid $60. Like, come on now.
Yeah.
But we got the next 2 really big cards in UFC. We are gonna try to live stream those on Twitch. You know, record video for YouTube as well, and give like our live breakdown of the fights. So that'll be really cool. Something coming up for y'all if y'all want to check that out. You know, be looking forward to that. But other than that, I guess I don't know. We got plenty to talk about today.
Yeah, we got a lot.
This past card was really intense, really awesome.
Yeah,
we got a lot of cool shit coming up
for sure. When I did that one podcast a week ago or whatever, I forgot about the Lomachenko fight. It happened that weekend too, also with the UFC, and I blanked on it. I meant to say something about it then, but I wanted to bring that up today because that was a really good fight. Yeah. That was like it was a back and forth fight too. Like it wasn't. Loma didn't just go in there and dominate like you would think. You know?
I thought it was going to be one-sided completely.
Yeah, but I mean, by like round probably like 8 or 9, he really started taking over and kind of just dominated those last few rounds. But up until that point, it was pretty close, man. It was back and forth. Like the dude he was fighting ain't no punk. Like it was a pretty good fight, man. I was impressed.
Who do you think he fights next?
Man, who knows? Like that's the thing. Like they don't want to give him any really big names. It's like everybody he's fighting is kind of like they're good, obviously, but like they're not like the guys we really want to see him fight. You know. So I don't really know.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of who would be a good fight for him.
Man, I don't know. I'd like to see him fight some of the guys that are in the bigger divisions, but I don't really want to see him go up and lose. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'd rather see him
run in that division. It's almost like stay there. Don't risk it, but
run it for. I mean, he's only got like 14 fights.
Who's he losing to though? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. He's only got like 14 pro fights or something like that. He's got a shit ton of amateur fights, but like his pro record's like 14 or 15, 16 fights, something like that. Like he's only got. I think he's got one loss.
It's crazy because in the UFC you would think that that's a lot.
Yeah.
Like if you have 14, but in boxing it's so much different.
Yeah, it's not a lot. It's not a lot at all. He said he probably got 400 amateur fights, but he's pro fights he doesn't have that many.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we see some more out of him. He's a bad motherfucker.
Yeah, he's always so much fun to watch too.
Hell yeah.
But it's UFC 242 over the weekend.
Man,
that was a pretty good card, man.
I enjoyed it. I really did.
It was. They lived up to the hype, I would say. I mean, I was pretty excited about it, and I think the fights that we got to see, there were some really entertaining fights on there. There were some really like technical, really good back and forth fights.
Honestly, I mean, the whole main card was good.
Yeah.
I mean, there wasn't one bad fight.
Curtis Blades got a second round TKO, that was a good fight. He looked really good. He came out the gate, took dude down, and just kind of pounded on him for a while.
Absolutely dominated this guy.
Yeah.
I mean, who has Blades lost to besides Francis?
Yeah.
He doesn't have many losses.
No, he doesn't.
I mean,
I don't remember. There was somebody else who he fought. Did he beat Derek Lewis?
I don't know if he fought Derek Lewis, did he?
Did he not? I don't know. I remember there being another guy that beat him.
I just remember Francis beating Curtis, and then Francis turned around, and that was after. Yeah, Francis beat Curtis Blades after he lost to Derek Lewis.
Yeah. Yeah, because Curtis Blades beat Mark Hunt. Okay, so his loss is a while ago. Oh, both of his losses are to Francis.
Yeah,
he's only two losses to Francis. Okay, I was thinking that. I was thinking one was to somebody else.
He's beat Overeem. I mean, he's beaten all the top guys in the division.
Yeah, Alexei Olenek.
Yeah, I mean, he's beating everybody besides Francis. So I mean, Blades is top 5 in the heavyweights to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know who else he could face right now. I mean, we got Stipe and DC up there, obviously, and Francis. I mean, like honestly, he has to beat Francis. That is his only option at this point. If Blades ever wants to be a champion, really, I don't know what other fights he has. I mean, I guess he could fight Derek Lewis. I don't think he's fought Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis is one at the top that he could prove himself against.
Yeah.
But I mean, his wrestling is top tier, though. Yeah. Man, I mean, it's Khabib style wrestling. Like it's ground and pound, like beat the shit out of you. Like you can't make a move, you can't do anything while you're on the ground type of fighting. And he's really good. I mean,
he's really good.
Francis just that last fight they had, Francis slept him in the first.
It's just Francis's power. It's getting past Francis's power. If he could take Francis down and keep him down, he could have his way with him. Because Francis's wrestling, we know, it's not really there. You know what I mean? It's not like, definitely not on his level.
I need to go back and watch the Derek Lewis and Francis fight because I don't even remember how that fight went exactly.
Super boring. Like Francis was so gun-shy. That was after Francis lost to Stipe, so he was like...
Stipe's the only one that truly broke Francis, though.
Yeah. And then he bounced back after that, and now he's like scarier than he was before.
Yeah, just running through everybody. Savage.
Yeah.
I think he knows how to handle the wrestling a little bit better now. You know what I mean?
Defending takedowns.
If he puts his hands on your face, you're getting knocked out pretty much. It's just like Francis is a monster. I'm super excited to see where else he goes. But
speaking of Francis knocking people out, Kane was on Ariel Helwani's little podcast the other day, and he was talking. He was actually asking. This is the first time Kane's done an interview, and who knows how long. And he was asking him about it, and he actually admitted that because before he was trying to say that he never even got hurt, he never got touched. And he still kind of didn't really give it to... He did say Francis has power, but he tried to say, it was the punch behind the ears what knocked him out. He said he was out on his feet, and what woke him up was his knee going out. He said there was a problem with his knee, and he needs surgery. He still needs surgery. But he wouldn't really elaborate on what it was, so I don't know,
It was just a cover up for him.
Yeah, that's kind of what it kind of felt like because he's in there doing flips and shit.
I mean, it is weird sometimes.
AAA wrestling,
especially when you look at that one more. Which that's the thing with Francis is like he can knock you out with barely catching you with that hand.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And it is a weird knockout though.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest.
Oh yeah, it definitely is.
He didn't connect with Kane like
The one punch that everybody thought knocked him, or was what knocked him out, was like an uppercut, but it didn't really hit him. It hit him like in the chest, kind of.
Exactly.
And that's when he fell.
That's why everybody thought it was his knee, because like unless you like zoom in and slow down that hit, you can't even really tell that Francis hit him that hard. You know what I mean? It wasn't like he just connected and hit him really hard.
I can see where he's saying like the hit behind the ears what kind of wobbled him, and he was kind of out on his feet, and he didn't know what was going on until he came to like on the ground already.
And another thing,
I'm not saying he was faking it all.
No, Kane is a broken fighter. I mean, he's been in some wars and he's had plenty of injuries. Like I mean, so it is. It's hard. It's a 50-50 thing for me. I think part of him is saying that because he doesn't want to look as bad for getting knocked out. But at the same time, bro, like don't feel bad about getting knocked out. Like I mean, it might just be that time for you to let fighting go, honestly, and like. I mean, he's got 3 fights left on his contract with the UFC. Really?
He said he doesn't plan to quit wrestling. He loves it and he's going to continue that. And he wants to wrestle in other, like he wants to wrestle for WWE eventually. Yeah. He said he's been in talks with them, but they haven't like.
He looks like he could easily be a WWE wrestler. Like you know what I mean? He had like if he comes out of his shell a little bit more.
And he actually he opened up on Errol's podcast, and they were like he was kind of having like he was talking a lot, and Errol even said something. He's like, usually you're not this talkative, you're usually pretty quiet.
He's probably doing acting lessons. Honestly,
I'm sure.
I mean, being that he's a Mexican wrestler, and like a Mexican wrestling
luchador. Style.
Being that he's doing that, I guarantee you, like he's doing some type of acting classes. I mean, all WWE wrestlers are probably doing acting classes.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they all go through stuff like that. And
he did say he wants
that stuff helps you come out of your shell a little bit more, for sure.
He did say he wants to fight again, though. He wants to fight in the UFC again.
He does.
He said he plans on it
if he's healthy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't want to see him coming to get starched again, though.
No, neither. No, don't be Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that at all. So I mean, if Kane can come back and
if he can come in and take a
contender, then
yeah, if he can come in and take a fight like a warm up fight.
A warm-up fight
not a warm-up fight, but like
there's no heavyweight warm-up fight, really, if you're fighting top 10. I mean, but I think him and JDS again is a good fight. Yeah. I mean, really, because JDS is not just dominating people right now. I mean, they're both
coming off a knockout.
They're both kind of on the same tier, I would believe.
Getting knocked out.
I think him and JDS would be good.
That'd be a fun fight.
Either way, back to Curtis Blades. I think he looked really good. And I'm kind of excited to see where they go with him on his next fight.
For sure.
Bro, Makhachev.
Dude,
that was a good fight.
It really was.
That was such a good fight. Davi Ramos, he looked okay. I mean, honestly, Makhachev looked better on the ground than I thought.
Yeah, for Davi Ramos to be such a great jiu-jitsu player and everything, like for Makhachev to kind of show out the way he did, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't.
He rocked Ramos a couple times too, and Ramos is one of those that's like, you really don't want to be on the ground with him normally. Normally
that's what I'm saying. Like,
submit you super quick, and I mean, Makhachev gave him a really good fight on the ground and ended up coming out with a decision win, and I'm really surprised by that. But at the same time, I knew that Makhachev was a badass.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I knew that was going to be a good fight.
Him fight. Yeah,
I think it definitely lived up to what we were expecting.
I'm excited for Makhachev, though. I mean, that's a really big win for him.
Yeah, for sure.
Davi Ramos is nobody to play with on the ground.
Yeah. So Makhachev did win the decision, but it was a good back and forth fight. It was a unanimous decision, though. Like,
it was a very technical fight too. Yeah, I mean, it really was. It's a good one to go back and watch if you want to learn about some MMA. They did a little bit of everything in that fight.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Yeah,
and we made the comment. You said that Makhachev looked like could be because he really does.
Yeah, they do.
And they're training partners.
Yeah, they're training partners.
And Davi Ramos looks like a buff ass Eddie Alvarez. That's what I thought. He looks like a swole up Eddie Alvarez. Yeah. It was kind of weird, like seeing two guys that look like two other fighters that we watch, and it's like seeing them fight.
They do look similar.
Yeah. Then we had Paul Felder and Edson Barboza.
At war.
Yeah.
Those guys went to war.
That was a damn good fight.
Didn't give that fight enough credit, really. After just because there was.
I think it should have got fight of the night, personally.
It really was. I mean, it was. I mean, Felder's doing his post fight and just got blood running down his forehead from a cut. I mean,
it wouldn't even stop bleeding.
Yeah, and, I don't know. Felder's talking about he wants to fight anybody that wants to fight right now.
Yeah,
he's trying to come for all the top guys.
Yeah.
But honestly, Felder, I don't know if you want.
There's some tough matchups.
There's some tough people, bro, in that division. I really don't know if you want smoke with them. You're a really good fighter, but he also said I don't have to do this. So it's like, to me, are you really 100% in fighting if that's in the back of your head that don't have to do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of
I
guys
think he
are
was
like,
more aiming that toward, not saying like he doesn't have to do this, like he's not really feeling
he's
it, but
doing
more or
because
less,
he loves it, yeah.
more or less like
He actually has a
if they don't
passion
want to
for
pay
it.
me what I'm worth, then I don't have to. Like I have
Yeah.
other options.
Well,
you know?
and he also
wasn't saying it like I don't know if I want to continue doing this. You know, I think
yeah,
it was
he could be a great commentator for sure, and he already is.
Yeah, he is a great.
But as far as acting, I don't know. Everybody says that. I mean,
Yeah.
every fighter says
Well,
they're going to go into acting.
he could
so it's
definitely
kinda like,
he could definitely do some acting in like some low budget martial arts movies. You know what I mean? Because like
Yeah.
all those guys, they get those
Yeah.
parts left and right. You know what I mean? Or
I didn't
even
think
like
about that, yeah.
he could even be like a stuntman for like Avengers movies and shit like that.
Yeah.
You know, they always need people doing crazy fight scenes
That's
and
true.
shit like that. So I mean, he could definitely do something like that. But as far as like being a big face in acting, you know, that's
Yeah, I don't
that's
know
tough.
about that for.
It's tough for somebody to come from that kind of a field and get into it. You know.
Yeah, it's very tough.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, but I mean, anybody can be a good actor. I mean, you got The Rock. I mean, nobody thought that guy would be a good actor,
Yeah.
and he's the most popular actor in the world now.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, best of luck to Felder either way.
Yeah, for sure.
But
I love watching him fight.
I love watching him fight too.
He's a
like
tough
he goes to,
motherfucker.
yeah, I mean, you don't knock him out. His chin is like rock hard.
And it's the story of that whole thing for him getting that
Barbosa
back.
already beat him once.
Yeah,
you know what I
Barbosa
mean?
beat him in the first fight by decision. What it was by decision?
Yeah,
the first
decision
fight,
win, yeah.
And then he comes back and his long hard road coming back. You know, he knew he had things to worry about going against Barbosa
Barbosa's
again.
never an easy fight.
Hell no, not
Dude
for anybody
kicks the
except for
shit out of
Khabib. Khabib kind of smashed him.
And Justin Gaethje.
yeah, and just to get you, yeah.
Oh man! But either way, Barbosa has straight slept plenty of guys.
Yeah.
And he's a tough motherfucker too. So he's at the top of the division always.
Yeah.
Barbosa's kind of like an RDA. He's one of those. He can, he's
Yeah,
gonna lose
that's what I
some,
was
but
just
he's
about to
gonna
say.
win some too.
It's kind of like that. The gatekeeper
Yeah, the gatekeeper.
type guy. You know,
Yeah,
he's
that's
kind of
what he
like
is.
if you can beat him, you're ready for the top guys. But
yeah,
he's not going to be an easy fight, you know.
never.
Yeah, and he's not in the same spot in his career like where he used to be when he was
That's
kind
just
of
such a
beating
tough
everybody.
division, though. I mean, everybody in there is savage.
Yeah, especially when you get to like the top 5, it's like, oh shit.
if you can't beat,
I would almost say top 10. There's so many guys like from Gaethje, Cowboy, you know,
Dustin,
all of them, all the way up.
Connor, if Connor actually fought.
Tony, I mean, they're all it's
Some of the
like
savages
elite
in that
level.
division. That division and 185 is just ridiculous.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, for
that was a
sure.
really good fight, though. I enjoyed that. And then we got Khabib,
To beat Dustin Poirier.
Man, it was such a good fight. Really.
Dustin had some
It really
success.
was. Dustin had a lot of success, man.
Yeah.
He had the most. I mean, they say Connor won a round or whatever. And they probably didn't give. I don't think they gave Dustin a round at all.
No,
But
he had some time where he was having success and he was actually doing
nobody
really good.
has sunk in a
Guillotine.
guillotine like that. I can't. So blanked out there for a second.
Yeah.
But nobody has sunk a guillotine like that on Khabib. And
That's by far the closest Khabib's come to being finished.
yeah, for sure. And it's one of those things. I mean, it's hard to tap Khabib. Period.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And like he had that sunk in, but at the same time, Khabib is such an elite.
Oh, Khabib even admitted that it was really, really tight.
Yeah,
and
like, he barely got out of it. But
yeah.
the way Khabib maneuvers his head, and like you can even tell if you go watch the fight, he like pushes his head against the canvas.
Yeah.
And the way he maneuvers is so hard. It's so hard to sink anything. It's so hard to get him to tap because you can never get like that perfect angle
I think
on him.
even if Dustin really had it, like Khabib would have went out. I don't think he would have tapped.
Yeah,
I think he's that hard headed, and I think that there's too much pride. Like he wouldn't have wanted to tap. I think he would have had to choke him out.
Yeah.
And they had already been. This was in the second round, or no, this was in the third round. It was the beginning of the third round. So they had already been fighting for 2 rounds. Dustin was already tired. Then he just wore his arms out with that guillotine choke, trying to finish him. You know, if he would have got that in the first round, it might have been over.
Yeah, it could have been. It was. I mean, and
It was
there was
deep.
a couple times that Khabib, I mean, Dustin's takedown defense is really good, and you're going to get taken down by Khabib.
Yeah.
Period. And
Yeah.
but Dustin's really good on the ground. I mean, he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu for a reason, and he got out of one of Khabib's chokes and maneuvered really well in that fight.
Yeah.
And he hit Khabib with a lot of big shots.
Yeah, that second
And-
round when he came out and started striking with him.
Yeah, it was.
You could
close.
tell Khabib
That was
was
a
like
close round
he didn't
period,
like
so
that.
Khabib
He didn't
got
like
it
being
down.
hit. You know what I mean? Khabib doesn't like being hit per period. You know.
No, it pisses him off.
When
What did Schaub say during their Rogan did a fight companion, and Schaub was like, you tugged on the bear's neck, and
He's
now
gonna
he's
fuck you up.
pissed. Yeah, now he's gonna fuck you up.
yeah.
That made me laugh.
But yeah, that second round when Dustin came out and started hitting him, you could tell Khabib was like, he had Khabib backing up, but he just expended so much energy trying to knock him out that it just wore him out extra quick,
Yeah,
and Khabib does this weird thing, like whenever
fight for everybody.
Yeah, whenever you're standing up with him, he does this weird thing where he's constantly like ducking his head down, like dipping his head down, so you don't know if he's trying to go for a takedown or not.
Yeah.
While it's weird, it's weird to see him do it, but he got the win.
How respectful though. I mean, how good of a guy are both of them really?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Khabib's done a couple of dumb things, and I mean, he's honestly not my favorite fighter, but.
I have a lot more respect for him.
He's an overall great guy.
I feel like I have more respect for him every time I see him fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's things that the whole thing with the jumping out of the cage and everything.
Yeah, that
like,
was dumb, but like it shows you that he does have passion.
I lost a lot of respect for him during that, just because it's like, bro, you're just talking. Like, sure, Conor said some fucked up stuff, but it's like, are words really hurting you that bad?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, come on, man.
You're kind of being sensitive.
Yeah,
about it.
don't be so sensitive about it. Like, he's trying to hype the fight. Whether he meant it or not,
after Conor tapped,
you beat him. You know what I mean?
Conor was like, I remember that coming out of the news. Conor was kind of just like, chill, bro.
Yeah.
he's
like I'm trying to,
He was like, he even said, like, I'm trying to sell the file.
Yeah. I lost some respect for Khabib with that.
Way out of proportion.
The way he handled all that, but I think that he's grown from that. And, especially what he did with Dustin at the end, they traded shirts and then he auctioned the shirt off.
Really respectful.
And I read something today where his dad said that that shirt sold for a lot of money. And all that money was being donated to Dustin Poirier's charity that he does.
Yeah, he does charity all the time. Yeah. Dustin's an awesome guy.
He's got several charities too, because he had the one where they were building like when he fought Max, they auctioned off the gloves and they were building playground equipment for schools in Louisiana or whatever.
I remember that.
This one was for wells. They're building wells in the Congo, I think.
Oh, he's helping with that too.
With what Justin Wren does. Yeah. I think it's the same thing. I think it's for the same company, but
that's cool.
I guess Dustin they already met the goal of $25,000 that they were trying to raise. So the rest of the money that the shirt sold for, whatever, is going to go to Justin Wren.
That's
for
awesome.
That Fight for the Forgotten.
Yeah, they've been doing a lot with that too. Rogan and them helped out a lot with that.
Yeah.
That's crazy how much they've done over there too.
Yeah, but
you wouldn't believe your eyes if you wouldn't looked up all the stuff that they've done. Like they've done a lot.
Yeah, they've given so many people water who never had clean water.
Yeah, just imagine that. Like, God,
it's insane.
None of us should complain.
Yeah,
it's crazy, man.
Yeah,
really.
For sure.
But man, I don't know.
What's next? I mean, obviously
we can jump because we
obviously
got to talk about what's next because it's got to be Ferguson.
It has to be. There's no other option. If they do anything else,
no other option.
If they do anything else,
I'm pissed.
Yeah.
Tony is next.
Yeah.
Tony's hyping it up on his Instagram too. He's talking. Mm-hmm. He's ready.
Oh yeah, he was on Ariel's podcast too. That same one that I listened to the other night, and he was just saying like it was a pre-recorded thing where Ariel interviewed him right after the fight so he could get his live reaction. And then they just played it during the podcast whenever they recorded the podcast or whatever. But he said that it was lazy. He said Khabib fights lazy. He sees a ton of holes in his game. There's a lot of stuff that he sees that he can do. And he expects them to go, he said Khabib's got good people around him and they're going to go fix a lot of these holes. Yeah. But he said, I still see a lot of things I can exploit. And,
I mean, honestly, if Tony Ferguson does not beat Khabib does not.
He retires undefeated.
He retires undefeated. Yeah, which is his goal. He said he wants 2 more fights. 2 more fights would put Khabib at 30-0. I mean, that's an amazing career if you go 30-0 and beat the guys that you've beaten. It's crazy. Like, I mean, to think about it at that point, there's a lot of Khabib didn't really face that many tough opponents. I mean, 20 of his opponents probably were not like the best fighter in the world or anything. They weren't the most high level fighters.
He's fought some good guys in the UFC, but he's only got 12 fights in the UFC. So I mean, or 13 fights.
If you imagine his career, imagine he goes 30-0, and imagine he, just look at what his wins would be if he was to retire 30-0. It would be Tony Ferguson. It would be Conor McGregor. It would be Dustin Poirier. It would be some of the toughest guys, that you could possibly think of.
His manager, Ali Abdelaziz, keeps saying that Tony Ferguson's not next, and Conor, they're not going to fight Conor again, and that the next fight's going to be GSP. But
that's so stupid.
I don't think that they don't realize. I've seen Khabib say this stuff too. Like, he's saying that there's no way he's going to fight Conor again. Conor needs to come back and win 10 fights in a row before he'll fight him again. you don't get to make that decision, even though you're champ. If Dana was really adamant, I mean, well, actually, I know they're friends, they're close. You know, it seems like they're close and everything. But if Dana was to say, "Look, we're making you versus Conor," and Khabib says, "No, I'm not going to fight Conor," then they're going to strip your belt. We've seen it happen.
Tony has deserved this fight more than anything.
Yeah.
And no matter what, if Khabib for some reason does not want to fight Tony, I say okay, Tony and somebody else can fight for the belt if that's how he really feels.
That's how. That's how it should be.
Tony has been waiting for this shit forever, and Tony
he's been done wrong so many times. They took his belt away because he blew out his knee doing press.
Personally, I think if he doesn't fight Tony, he cannot say he's the GOAT. He cannot say anything because if you do not beat Tony, you cannot say that. Tony's at the top of the division. Khabib for this whole.
Khabib himself said that Tony he wants to fight Tony next.
Yeah,
but of course, Leo Delzis is saying that no, we're going for GSP next.
To me, if you want to cement your legacy as the best and win your next 2 fights that you say you want before you retire, you need to beat Tony Ferguson, and then you can say,
then go
give me a GSP fight. If you beat Tony
GSP.
Ferguson in a title fight, okay, then see if you can beat GSP.
Honestly,
who's considered the best.
To me, the GSP fight is not that interesting. I'm a huge GSP fan. I love GSP when he was fighting
GSP
back in the day.
Down to 155.
Yeah, but like his last fight, I mean, granted it was at 185, but he didn't look that great against Bisping. He was a little slow. His striking was still pretty decent, but it wasn't like he wasn't the old Khabib, the old GSP. Now, if we're talking GSP in his prime versus Khabib, that's a great
tough fight for Khabib.
Yeah, for sure. But like,
if GSP was to come back and beat him, let's be honest, that would be insane. You definitely have to say you're the GOAT.
For sure, yeah, for sure. But like, if we're talking Tony Ferguson versus Khabib or GSP versus Khabib, I want to see Tony Ferguson all day long.
That's fight of the night, no matter what.
Yeah,
Tony will make it fight of the night.
And Tony knows that Khabib doesn't like to get hit. Tony's elbows.
Tony has the best takedown defense in the game. He is the best when it comes to getting out of trouble on the ground.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, he'll let you take him down because he knows what he can do once he's down there.
Yeah, once he's down, I mean, that Darce choke is nothing to play with. He has the best Darce choke in the game.
Triangles. I mean, he can throw all kinds of shit.
He knows it all,
and he can strike. His elbows on the ground are nasty.
Dude, not only has his elbows, I mean, he has every tool you can think in his kit, and on top of that, his cardio is probably the best in the game, besides maybe Colby. I mean, Tony does not.
I think
really get tired.
Tony's probably the best, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, it's close, but it's.
Yeah. Colby's cardio is really good, but we haven't seen Colby
in that much trouble.
Yeah,
we haven't seen
go in a war with somebody the way Tony Ferguson does.
Tony was getting his shit rocked by Kevin Lee and completely just Darce choked him. Just and then in the middle of a bloodbath, they just Darce choked him.
Yeah,
Kevin Lee's just sitting there like, what the hell? I don't know. I have no idea what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, Kevin Lee was definitely winning that first round in that fight.
He was.
But yeah, it has to be Tony Ferguson next. If they do anything else, I'm gonna be very disappointed. Yeah, I mean, they've made the fight 4 times before. And this will be the 5th time they tried to make Tony Ferguson versus Khabib, and it's never happened.
It's got to happen. This is it. This is the time. Joe Rogan said it. All the top dogs have said it's time. If you go back to episode 1, we probably talked about it then.
Yes, we've talked about it damn near every episode that we've made.
Yes,
because we're so adamant about this fight needs to happen.
Tony deserves it. That's got to be what's next. As far as that division goes, I mean, Dustin's obviously still up there. I think, of course, we all want to see Conor come back and fight. If Conor wants to come back and fight, I think Conor should fight either the winner of Cowboy and Gaethje or Dustin.
Yeah.
I mean, Dustin deserves that payday. Dustin deserves that. That would be a great comeback fight.
Dude, I want to see.
Dustin said something about it on Twitter, and Conor said, "I slept you in 90 seconds." Or
I fed you the mat in 90 seconds.
I fed you to the canvas in 90 seconds, bro. You need to quit hyping that up and all this BS. But Dustin is definitely a different fighter than he was then.
So much different.
So much better and so much different. So Dustin, I'm not going to say he could beat Conor because not many people have beaten Conor besides Khabib and Nate Diaz. So
I know the winner of Justin and Cowboy are going to win a title shot.
Yeah, and even Gaethje's trying to, obviously right now he's trying to hype up. He wants a Conor fight.
Yeah.
So Gaethje's already looking forward to trying to beat Cowboy or knock out Cowboy and get a Conor fight. Yeah. Which is fine. I mean,
either way, that's a good payday for both of those guys. So I don't think any one of them are going to complain about it.
Yeah, nobody.
Tony obviously needs the next title shot, and everybody knows that.
But that's a payday for Tony too, really. I mean, if he gets that shot,
Khabib?
Yeah.
For sure.
Khabib sells.
Dude, Khabib made $6 million to fight.
Well, that's because of that's also his new contract.
Yeah, but still, that's the most he's ever made in a fight.
Yeah,
he didn't make.
He made what, $3 or $4 million against Conor.
I don't even think it was that much.
Yeah, not very. I think $2 million maybe. I can't remember exactly.
I want to say they said it was like 4 times what he was going to make when he fought Conor.
Yeah, he bought. Yeah,
Or
he made $2 million. Or no, I think his dad said it was twice as much.
Twice as much. Okay.
Yeah, he made $3 million against Conor,
Okay.
and he made $6 million in this.
That's a big, and
difference.
And if he was smart, which I'm sure he is, and his team, I'm sure they equated for pay-per-view buys. So I'm sure he'll get something else on top of that.
On top of that, yeah.
Yeah, but Dustin got paid like $250,000.
Ridiculous.
It's fucking ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
All the time that Dustin's put in for the UFC, all the people he's beat, all the ex-champs he's beat.
He deserves at least $2 million for that fight.
Yeah, it's very bottom of $1 million.
Yeah.
He should have at least made $1 million.
That's crazy.
Just even though he lost.
Man. The UFC's got to change that. I mean, these guys got to.
That's what breaks my heart when you see these fighters like that, especially like Dustin.
They have the hardest job in the world. They're putting more damage to their body than anybody in the world.
And people are like, damn, that's $250,000 for one night, but it's not.
That's not enough to
look at the lead up. Look at the 8-week camp or 16-week camp that they go through for this. Everything they have to pay for, that they pay out of their pocket to go do these fights.
It's ridiculous.
And then to only make $250,000. Taxes. By the time you pay your coach, by the time you pay your team, your nutritionist, you pay all these people.
You don't have that.
You're not making very much money, man.
You're losing a lot of money. Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. They deserve so much better than that, really.
I mean. I'm happy for Khabib getting paid, but I mean honestly, they should have taken a little off of Khabib's pay and given that to Dustin. You know what I mean? Like whenever they're negotiating, I know that he has a contract with them and everything like that. He is champ. He's only defended. This is his second title defense. How are you making $6 million a fight already?
I don't know. Crazy. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm happy for Khabib getting paid, but
but at the same time, it's a little. I mean, it's a little too much hype for me.
Yeah.
These other guys deserve to get paid just as much as you, bro. Mm-hmm. Especially some guys like Dustin who have worked their ass off to get where they're at, I guess, that's about it. I mean, I guess next for Khabib's got to be Tony.
Sure.
Hopefully Dustin can get a shot against somebody like Conor. I just think Dustin deserves another good payday more than anything. But we got Cowboy Gaethje this weekend coming up.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. I really don't know who wins that fight. Gaethje's been knocked out by Cowboy in practice before. Mm-hmm. So, which Gaethje obviously has done interviews and said, I'm definitely not the same guy I was when I was a kid when I got knocked out by him. So, anything could happen this weekend. I'm super excited for that fight, though.
This past weekend, there was also Bellator 226 after the UFC card.
Yeah.
Adam Bork's got a second round TKO over Pat Curran.
Adam Bork's is savage.
Yeah.
That dude is
14-0.
Yes, I watched that. I watched some of that fight. That dude is mean.
Yeah, for sure. Then you had Derek Campos' decision win over Daniel Strauss, and then the controversial Bader versus Congo no contest eye poke. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I tried to look into it a little bit more.
Go on.
To me, it looks like.
Go on Bader's Instagram. He posted a video of up close zoomed in video of the eye poke, and he's very clearly poking him in the nose. Like it's an open hand to the face. His fingers like going up Cheick Kongo's nose a little bit, and Cheick Kongo grabs his eye and said that it was an eye poke, so he got a no contest. Because Bader was dominating that fight the whole first round.
Yeah, from what I heard, Bader was dominating. It was kind of a BS.
Whooping his ass. Yeah. And he says that it looked like Kongo was looking for a way out. There's right there. There's a zoomed in. If you go to that, there's a zoomed in. You can see his finger right on the nose, pushing him in the nose, and then Kongo grabs his eye. And that's when he had the ref look at it and he tried to say that it was an eye poke.
Yeah, it kind of looks like to me like Kongo was bitching out of the fight.
Yeah. Apparently Rampage came in the cage after trying to fight Ryan Bader, saying he did that on purpose. And Bader's like, bro, I was winning the fight. I was whooping his ass. Why would I do that on purpose?
Why would I poke him in the eye at all?
And they posted a picture of Kongo's eye being red or whatever, but I don't know. They're saying that, it was a punch to the eye which made his eye red, which obviously can happen, If you get punched in the eyeball, your eye's going to turn red.
Yeah, 100%. That's a little bit of the after effect of that. I think that was BS, though, 100%. I don't know. Bader doesn't deserve that no contest, really, but...
They asked him if he'd want to run it back. He said he doesn't mind. He'll run it back and beat him again.
Bader's a respectful guy.
He said it was such an easy fight the first round. He was dominating so good.
He was.
But he also said that he feels like his next fight, he needs to go back down to light heavyweight for a couple of fights because, he has both belts still. He needs to
just
go.
run
He doesn't
Bellator
want
right now.
He doesn't want to hold up that division too much, which
That's
is
crazy.
You know,
that's understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think Bader deserves a little bit better than that.
Yeah.
That was kind of BS on Congo's part, in my opinion, especially if you go look at that close up.
Yeah.
It's definitely bullshit.
He said Bader said that Rampage came in the ring trying to fight him or whatever, and he's saying he wanted to fight or whatever, and he's like, yeah, obviously it's gonna have to be at super heavyweight.
Super heavyweight.
Like he said,
Rampage is a monster.
Yeah. Well, Bader said that at first he didn't know what was going on. He just saw a fat guy come in the ring talking shit to him. He's like, his dad had to like hold him back. Bader's dad had a whole Rampage back.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I love the drama.
Yeah, it's funny.
I mean, Rampage and Bader though, so that's a good sell.
Rampage has a fight coming up. I just heard it the other day. He's supposed to fight Fedor.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Rampage versus Fedor.
That'd be a crazy good fight.
Yeah. That's gonna be
the oldies.
Old heads.
But yeah, Rampage and Bader. I'd be down to watch that too. It'd be a good fight to sell.
For sure.
That was a pretty good card. Good Bellator card.
Yeah.
I guess we already talked about Tony, Khabib, and them. I guess we talk about UFC 244.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up.
When is that
Dude,
card? That card? We're off for that card.
November 2nd.
That's the one. Yeah,
Madison
November
Square Garden.
2nd. Y'all tune in. We're
stacked.
Yeah, it's a super stacked card. Super stacked. All kinds of fights on that. We're gonna try to stream that live on Twitch, and we're gonna try to do a fight companion where we kind of break down and talk about that one as well.
Yeah, this might be the most stacked card of the year, honestly. When you go look at it,
crazy stacked.
So this is here's the fights. You got main event: Jorge Masvidal and Nate Diaz for the BMF title.
Baddest motherfucker alive.
Yeah. And apparently they're actually going to make a belt for that.
Oh, yeah. That's what Dana said.
That's going to be dope. That's going to be really dope. Then co-main is Derek Lewis, Blagoy Ivanov.
Derek Lewis, funniest guy in MMA.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to, whatever happens with that fight, you're going to get a funny interview out of him if he wins, for sure.
Corey Anderson, Johnny Walker.
God, I'm so excited for that.
Great fight.
That is who Corey Anderson and Johnny Walker are both your dark horses for light heavyweight.
Yeah.
And Johnny Walker has been a complete savage so far in the UFC, and I'm super excited to see him fight. Corey Anderson's, they're both like two of the nicest guys you'll ever, go watch their interviews. They're both super nice, and they're both super talented. So I don't know where that fight goes, but dude, I'm so excited for that fight. I cannot wait to watch that fight.
Great fight. Then you got Caitlin Chukagian and Jennifer Maia.
Good fight.
Really good fight. Then we got Till making his debut at middleweight, fighting Kelvin Gastelum.
Like, what? We already have all these fights, and then we get to watch Kelvin Gastelum and Darren Till fight? Like, come on now.
And then they added Stephen Wonderboy Thompson and Vicente Luque.
Like, what?
And Andre Arlovsky's also on the main card. Look how many fights are on that main card.
Dude, I'm so excited for that. I'm so glad. That is such a good way to kick off November.
Man, dude.
The month of November is going to get kicked off with
such a good card.
Hell yeah!
I can't wait.
I'm super excited for that.
It's going to be so awesome.
Y'all are going to have to tune in.
Yeah, we're definitely going to do something live for that.
That card will actually be at nighttime instead of 1 p.m. in Abu Dhabi.
We skipped right over UFC 243, which is October 5th. That's the Whitaker Adesanya.
Oh yeah.
That's a pretty good card.
We talked about that one.
Yeah, there's not a lot of
we're off for that one,
huge names on that one.
We'll definitely get breakdowns and stuff on that card.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that UFC 244 is super stacked.
Super stacked. I'm so excited.
I cannot wait for that card, man.
So Colby and Usman.
Yeah, not happening. Obviously that was supposed to be on UFC 244 card. I guess it was going to be a co-main fight under Dustin and Nate. Jorge and Nate.
Yeah.
But they, for whatever reason, couldn't make a deal. I think it's on Colby's part. Like, they're not offering. He says they're not offering him what he's worth, and he's trying to get paid more, and they're not wanting to make a deal with him. And
I understand if fighter wanting to get paid more. I really do. But at the same time, all these other guys are sucking it up. You know what I mean? And like, if they're not going to pay everybody equally, why does Colby deserve more? He hasn't done that much to deserve more right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, let's say he wins that title. Okay, then if Usman's not asking for more money, how much more is he getting paid than Colby? I doubt anything more. So I say just you need to go in there and prove yourself and win that title, Colby, and then you can be a Khabib and say I deserve more money, I deserve this or that.
Yeah,
I think it's bullshit that he's even fighting that. And he's too busy talking shit to Dustin Poirier and other people who he shouldn't even have his business in.
Yeah, it's on site.
Yeah, that's what Poirier said. He said, "When I see you, it's on site."
I promise you, when I see you at the gym, it's on site.
And somebody was like, why do you want to fight somebody that's so much bigger than you? I don't know.
I don't know.
I hope they don't fight in real life. That's not good.
Colby's just starting shit with everybody.
Yeah,
Jorge,
with everybody.
Him and his buddy Jorge aren't friends anymore.
Yeah, like what?
But they're saying that this fight possibly could be moved to December. They're going to take a little more time to try to negotiate and come up with. There's a fight card in Washington in December, and Colby says that they're shooting for that now. That's the
either way it needs to happen. That's got to happen.
Yeah,
that fight's got to happen.
And then there was some news announced. Logan Paul and KSI are going to box.
Talk about it, man. I mean,
I don't know who KSI is. I barely know who Logan Paul is, but I mean, I don't know anything about KSI.
Another YouTuber.
Yeah, I saw that he was a YouTuber. They boxed before, right?
Yeah.
They did their own little pay-per-view thing and made a shit ton of money.
They had more sales than most UFC fights.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you got to talk about it.
Yeah, for sure.
Logan Paul has also been talking shit to Dylan Dennis, and I'm just going to say...
Oh, I thought it was his brother. I think it's his brother that's talking shit to Dylan Dennis.
Oh, yeah, it's Jake. Yeah, Jake Paul.
Yeah,
that's what I meant.
I think his brother...
Yeah,
they were trying to...
Jake Paul is...
He's wanting to fight Dylan Dennis. Yeah.
Yeah, and...
Bro, you're getting slept in the first round.
You're going to get... He's not even going to have to sleep you. I mean, he'll just throw you on the ground in 2 seconds and tap you out. It's not going to take any time. Dylan Dennis is a D-bag, I will admit, but... that you don't want to... He's still
funny, though.
He's still a professional
He walks that line between complete douchebag and, like, hilarious dude.
Connor's camp. He's in Connor. He's just another Connor. That's what he is. He can talk shit. He's funny at the same time, but he's not too overwhelming. But, yeah, Logan Paul KSI, I mean, I'll watch it. I mean, Logan Paul is... Honestly, I don't like... I like Logan better than Jake. You know, Logan's not as annoying as Jake Paul, but...
Is he the older one? Logan's
the older one. He's actually got some fight background as well.
I think I heard somewhere he was like a wrestler or something.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of a fighting background. He's done some wrestling, and he obviously is rich. I mean, he spends a lot of his time training boxing. Like, he's got a boxing ring in his backyard, his freaking like mansion, whatever.
Damn.
And he's really been taking it serious. Like, from what I can tell, you know. So that's something cool to look forward to.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's just
any kind of fight, man. I'm down to watch it. I mean, especially if it's something that's got hype around it, and this is always going to have hype around it because these guys are popular. So, whatever, I'm down.
Billy Joe Saunders is on the undercard. That's what I thought was crazy.
It is crazy. Billy Joe Saunders is a badass boxer.
Oh, world champion on the undercard of a fight between some YouTubers.
Like, what?
I mean, of course, they're probably more of a draw. Because of the young kids, they're probably more of a draw than Billy Joe Saunders.
It'll get a shit ton of pay-per-view buys.
I'm sure Billy Joe Saunders could.
Billy Joe Saunders is going to get a payday from it.
He could probably get in there and fight them both at the same time and win.
100%. It would be not even a contest.
Oh, that dude's hilarious too. If you don't know who Billy Joe Saunders is, he's real close with Tyson Fury.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
They're like he's crazy like Tyson Fury. Yeah.
That's a cool thing to look forward to, though.
For sure.
I'll probably buy it myself.
Yeah.
Because they don't charge $70 or whatever it is for theirs. Theirs are like $25 a piece, I think.
Well, I think they're going through like DAZN now, so it might be
a
more.
little bit more expensive. Yeah, it is DAZN. I remember somebody saying
DAZN,
that.
so it might be $50.
That's crazy. I mean, that's what the fight world is coming to, though, and you can't blame DAZN for doing that because DAZN's going to get a payday.
Yeah, I don't blame them.
Like, why not?
Yeah.
100%.
This weekend. UFC Fight Night
earlier, but yeah, Gaethje Cowboy. I'm super excited for
UFC Fight Night 158. Justin Gaethje and Donald Cerrone, Glover Teixeira and Nikita Krylov. Todd Duffy's making his return. Dude, Todd Duffy's last fight was a first round TKO to Frank Mir in the UFC. Yep. That tells you how long ago that was.
A long time ago.
2015.
Damn near 5 years ago.
He's had a lot of issues. He was on that Ariel Hawani podcast I was referencing earlier, talking about some of the stuff he's been going through in the last few years or whatever. He had shoulder surgery or something, and then he was training at a gym somewhere in Vegas or something, and he stepped back and his foot went between the cage and the canvas and blew out his knee. Damn. So he had to have reconstructive surgery on his knee. So it's just been one thing after another for him over the last few years. So
I hate that.
Yeah, luckily he does like some training stuff on the side, so he was able to take some clients and still make money.
Not only that, but hey, if he can bounce back, and obviously he wants this if he's coming back after that long.
I think he's only got like 3 or 4 losses.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's still got a pretty good record.
Yeah.
And
how old is he? I don't know his age.
33.
Yeah, I mean, he still could be in his prime.
Yeah, he's still a monster.
If he's recovered and ready to bounce back, I wish nothing but the best for him in that fight. Jeff Hughes is no punk, though, either, so that'll be a good fight. We get to see Uriah Hall, too.
Yeah, Uriah Hall, Antonio Carlos Jr., And then Misha Cirkunov.
Rawls had a lot of hype behind him.
Yeah.
Before, of course, that was put to rest by some people. But I'm excited to see him fight again. He's still got so much potential.
And then Misha Cirkunov and Jim Crute. I don't know who Jim Crute is, but he's undefeated. He's got like a 10-0 record. So
I've never heard of Jim Crute myself. That sounds familiar.
Yeah. I don't know anything about him really, but I just saw his record on there. But really, I mean, Gaethje and Cowboys kind of carrying this card. It's not like, I mean, there's some good fights and there's some stuff we're looking forward to.
Yeah,
but
Gaethje
to the
Cowboys, the hype fight. 100%.
Yeah, to the average fight fan, they're not going to know who most of these guys are.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, Cowboys knocked out Gaethje in practice a long time ago, and so Gaethje's kind of got that on his chest a little bit. And he's kind of ready to bounce back from that, even though it was a long time ago.
Yeah,
Gaethje was a kid still.
Cowboy did an interview, and they said that, or I guess they interviewed both guys, but Gaethje brought that up on his own. Like, nobody even asked him about it. He brought it up.
Yeah, nobody. I didn't know about it until I heard that interview.
Yeah, they said something to Cowboy about it, and he's like, I don't know why he would have brought that up. He's like, I would have never brought it up on my own. But yeah, I guess since he brought it up, it happened. I mean, he's like, I know that that was a long time ago, and he's not the same guy, and like, he's going to be a tough fight. He was basically saying that he knows that this is going to be a war.
Gaethje came a long way.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's going to be a fun fight. It's going to be a war. Two of them probably most fun guys to watch, honestly. I mean,
to be fair,
there's a lot of guys you can say they're the most fun guy.
It's 100% going to be fight of the night.
But if you do a Mount Rushmore, the most fun guys to watch in the UFC right now,
Gaethje and Cowboy,
it'll be hard not to put them both on there.
Yeah, you got to.
Because they're just like, they just never stop
all the time.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think he has the most fight of the nights.
Not to mention, bro, Gaethje went toe to toe with Dustin Poirier, who we have found out is a bad, since then is just a bad motherfucker. I mean, one of the top guys. So, Gaethje's nobody to play with, 100%. I think it's.
Gaethje's only got 2 losses, right?
It's either going to be an intense war for 5 rounds, which could happen, but just because both of those guys are so tough,
I see somebody getting knocked out.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I think one of them's getting knocked out, possibly first round. That's going to be my prediction, which everybody hopes for.
Yeah,
I'm not mad about that. It would be badass, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, for sure.
Excited for that.
And then Tyson Fury is fighting this weekend.
Yes,
fighting a guy named Otto Wallin or Wallin.
Yeah,
I believe that guy's undefeated. He's like 20-0 or 21-0 or something like that.
Yeah, he's definitely going to lose.
Yeah, I just can't.
He's going to make quick work of this guy.
Yeah, I can't see him.
Stupid that they're even doing this. I mean, it's not stupid if this guy deserves a fight. I'm not saying that, but we all know what we want to see, and it's Fury Wilder, and the fact that we are making these guys fight other people before we see it again is stupid.
Yeah.
But either way, my prediction is Tyson Fury makes quick work of him. He's just as elite as he gets when it comes to boxing.
Yeah. On one of Brendan Shaw's podcasts, I can't remember if it was on Below the Belt or which one it was, but he was talking about Tyson Fury and stuff, and he was saying that with Tyson Fury being at ESPN now, that the Wilder fight's less likely to happen in the time frame that they're wanting it to happen.
So stupid.
Because of the way everything works and
pisses me off.
I don't know. So I'm wondering if we are going to see that, because they were talking like February 2020, I think, or something. So, I mean, like, hopefully, but I don't know. I don't know if we'll get to see it as soon as
What if we don't see it February 2020? You know what I mean?
What if we don't see it at all?
Yeah, what if we never see that rematch again? Those are the two best.
That's a severe travesty of justice, like Rogan said. He said that shit during their paper. He's like, if they give this fight to him, this is a severe travesty of justice.
About, what fight was it he was talking about? He was talking about
I think
Makachev and Ramos, wasn't he?
No, I think it was the first fight on the card. Wasn't it?
Wasn't Curtis Blades?
No, I think there was a fight before that.
Yeah, maybe.
It was
I know.
The other one that went to the decision.
I can't remember how you pronounce the guy's name, but I know which one you're talking about.
I think it was that fight, because it was back and forth.
It was a good fight, but that guy pretty much dominated.
Yeah, he was like, and if they give it to him, it's a severe travesty of justice.
Oh, dude.
That shit cracked me up, man.
They say some funny shit. I love it.
But yeah, Tyson Fury, Otto Wallin. It should be an interesting, entertaining fight. I mean, Tyson Fury's just fun to watch,
Oh, it's fun. He's just... His defense and just the way he fights is just insane. As good as it gets, man. Yeah. His boxing is elite.
He was on Hot Boxing with Mike Tyson the other day.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't listen to that.
It's pretty cool. I mean, if you've listened to any of Tyson's interview or Fury's interviews, you're going to know most of what he talks about.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's just...
On top of that, he's just the nicest
It's
guy
always
ever.
fun to hear somebody like that in an interview with a different kind of person. Like he's talking to Mike Tyson, who was one of the craziest guys in his day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He talks about all the drugs he did and like
All the crazy
all
shit.
the women he was with and all this.
It's a good thing with the shit that Tyson Fury's been through, though,
Yeah.
before, his comeback. That's a cool thing for them to relate on and talk about.
And, Tyson Fury was named after Mike Tyson.
Really.
Mike Tyson was
That's why
Tyson
his
Fury's dad.
parents did
That was his favorite boxer. And Tyson Fury was born like premature, like by like a month or something. He was like 1 pound when he was born. is
They
what he
weren't
said.
sure if he was going to live.
Yeah, they didn't know if he would ever live.
He said he's a fighter.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So they named him Mike. Or named after Mike Tyson.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah,
And you get to be.
and then he grew up to be
end being one of the
6'9"
best
and 270
one of the best
pounds.
boxers ever.
Yeah.
I mean, Tyson Fury's going to go down as one of the best ever. So
Yeah,
that's awesome.
yeah, for sure.
Well, I guess we can do our Mount Rushmore this week.
Yep, we're thinking about if UFC was to do a.
Oh, also, I don't know if we ever talked about it. I meant to say this before we do that.
Yeah, I think I mentioned something last week, but I don't think I really went into
Alexander
detail about it.
Gustafsson, is talking about returning, and he wants his fight to be with Luke Rockhold. I meant to say something about that. And we meant to do that in fight announcements, but I remembered I had that, so I wanted to say that.
I'd be interested to see that, man, but I don't want him to be half in, half out. Like if he's going to do it, if he's going to come back, he just needs to be in.
Yeah, I
you know
don't
what I
want
mean?
Gustafsson to be half in, half out.
Yeah.
If he comes back, I think that's a good fight for him, though, being that Rockhold got rocked.
Yeah. It's a good payday.
Yeah, 100%. Rockhold's always a good sell just because.
But
yeah, I'd be looking forward to that. And also, I don't know if we mentioned, but Cyborg signed with Bellator.
yeah, I said something about that last week too.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's
for
really
her.
good for her. I really would like to know what she's getting paid because it's supposed to like the biggest contract in women's anyway. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I mean, I'm sure the numbers will come out
She deserves it,
eventually.
though.
Yeah, for sure.
Cyborg's great.
Yeah, and she's getting a title shot her first fight against Julie Budd, so that'd be cool.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah,
I like when they go to. I like because Bellator.
I like Scott
Bellator
Coker.
UFC are always they always are trading fighters, and I mean obviously we say the UFC has the best, but Bellator has some of the best fighters as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of guys can contend over there, and there is some guys over there who could definitely beat some UFC guys. So I think that's awesome for her as well.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So Mount Rushmore, we're gonna do kind of our, I guess, dream pay-per-view scenario. If UFC was to make a UFC super card this December, we're just picking December because it's coming up,
Dun, dun, dun.
and I know there's supposed to be some big cards then, supposed to be some title defenses because there's some people that are wanting to fight again this year and some champs and stuff. So just if they're going to do,
might end up being the Usman Colby.
yeah, this is not likely to happen that they would ever do this, but like all title fights on the same card, we're just going to do a Mount Rushmore top 4 title fights we'd like to see on one card for this December. So
Still, what's your first fight?
number 1, it's got to be Tony Khabib. I think the timing works out well. Tony needs that fight.
I want y'all to picture all 4 of each of our fights on the same card. Just imagine how crazy that would be.
Yeah. So Tony Khabib for sure, I think would be kind of necessary. Honestly, I'd really like to see
your main event.
Yeah, probably.
Your main event.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's a big sell.
100%.
Yeah, as big of a star as Khabib is now. And like Tony Ferguson's not as well known because he keeps having these times when he's having to be out for injuries and stuff. But to any hardcore, he's well known for sure, and we know he's like one of the best. So I mean, I think there's a lot of hype they could build up. This is the 5th time they've tried to make this fight. Once they do,
I'm super hyped for that.
it's fallen out 4 times
Gotta
before.
happen.
So I mean, like I think that'd be my main event.
Yeah, it's got to.
What do you got?
Oh, my main event. Man, I'd probably. I know it's just a random fight, but I think my main event, as crazy as it sounds, I would like to see Max Holloway and Conor have a rematch at 145.
That's a damn good fight.
Right?
Yeah,
I mean, imagine.
I like
Conor
that.
was really good at 45, and 55. He's been really good, but I think Conor was more dominant at 45 than he was in any division.
Yeah, he was.
The way he put down Max and Dustin and everybody. I think
Not-
a rematch with him and Max. I think that would be an insane sell.
There's not a ton for Max at 145 anyway. So
That's
I mean,
what I'm saying. Imagine
that'd be a big fight for both of
Imagine
them.
how much that card would sell with the main event. Conor
Yeah.
and Max. I think that's going to be my main event. For
I
sure.
like that. I like that a lot.
What's your second
I'd
one?
love to see that. I kind of think I would like to see John Jones go up to heavyweight and fight Stipe.
That'll be your top.
If we're talking a dream pay per view, I mean, I might as well go all out.
Yeah, that's it. That would be sick.
It could happen. I mean, I think
100%
I think
tomorrow.
John. Yeah, I
if
think
John wanted it, they would make it happen.
I think John's actually wanting to defend his light heavyweight
he's
belt.
saying that, yeah.
This, I think he's supposed to, or he hinted at a December fight, and people were not sure who he's talking about.
Well, he posted on Twitter a couple days ago. He has a big fight announcement coming.
Yeah, and people are thinking that it's for that December card, and they were thinking that it was going to be against what's the guy's name? Damn. I just looked at this the other day. There was fans speculating that it was going to be this one guy, but they just announced a fight with him with somebody else. So it's not that fight, obviously. But
are you talking about Jan?
Yeah, John Bosch.
John Bosch.
Yeah. People were thinking that it might have been against him, but they just
3 days
announced
ago, and he said something about a fight announcement. So hopefully he'll come out soon.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But I mean, if you're asking me, I want to see him fight Stipe.
That'd be crazy. Yeah, that's a good fight to have on your dream.
Yeah.
My second fight, I was actually going to say, I mean, which this could very well happen before too long, Stipe and Francis.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, golly, bro. That rematch,
Yeah.
I mean, with the way Francis is...
That needs to be Francis's next fight, honestly.
Yeah, I mean,
he doesn't really need to fight anybody else. I mean, he lost to Stipe before, but honestly, he's kind of come a long way since then. Yeah, yeah, for real.
I mean, like, who else is there for him to fight? There's no reason for... I mean, I guess Francis could fight DC, but DC's not going to do that. Period.
I don't think we'll see DC for a little while. I think he's going to take some time off. Yeah, I don't think he fights again this year for sure.
If he comes back, I think it's him trilogy against Stipe. Yeah. I mean, I think that's the only thing he's going to want to take unless he gets a Jones payday.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's going to be my second fight.
I like that.
What's your third?
I like that. Man, honestly, I know this isn't going to happen, but you know.
Yeah, just like the Max and Conor will never happen.
Yeah. I'd like to see Henry Cejudo and Aljamain Sterling.
Yes. That'd be a sick fight, man.
I think that's a good fight.
Aljamain's been on a run lately, too.
I know that they're going to... I think Dana said that Henry's next fight has to be at 125 against Joseph Benavidez. So I know this isn't going to happen, but like I said, if there's any fight that if I'm making a list of fights that I really want to see, that's one I'd like to see because I kind of want to see Cejudo lose.
I'd love to see
honestly.
Cejudo lose. I love Aljamain. So
yeah,
that'd be a great
I'm a big Aljamain Sterling fan, and I really want to see.
Talks too much.
Yeah,
it's too cringy.
Yeah,
man. My number 3. Man, I want to see Nunes and Shevchenko go at it again.
Yeah, that's a great fight.
That'd be an intense title fight.
Yeah, that's super fun
Shevchenko
fight.
deserves it. She's one of the most dominant and I think the most technical.
It's kind of a win-win for her.
Technical UFC or MMA fighters, period.
Yeah.
But she's so elite. It's crazy, and I mean, she gave Nunes her toughest fight, their first go around, and I think that would be a sick matchup.
It's kind of a win-win for her too, because if she's coming up in weight, so I mean, if she loses, she's still champ at 125.
Either way,
yeah,
she's a champ.
And if she wins, she's double champ. So
Nunes is a good payday. Yeah. I mean, people like to watch Nunes, so
yeah, that's kind of it's a win-win either way for her.
I think that'd be sick.
That'd be a fun fight.
What's your fourth one?
I like that.
It's a hard decision.
I could say Colby Usman, but I don't know how much I really care to see that right now.
Yeah.
I mean, who else needs to fight though? You know what I mean? Every other division's kind of held up with the guys we're mentioning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's it, and I guess that's Colby Usman's my number 4 because I don't really know who else right now. I mean, you got Cejudo's holding up 2 divisions with his double champ status or whatever. Yeah. So he's either going to fight Benavidez or he's going to fight like Sterling or somebody like that. Yeah. Then you got Max at 45. Then you got Khabib at 55, and you got Usman at 70. Robert Whittaker at 85, who's about to fight Stylebender.
It's already a dream matchup.
Yeah, it's already happening. So, I mean, what else do you make? I guess you could say a non-title fight. Who would you like to see?
Yeah.
I was just thinking super card, but I guess you could have a non-title fight if
it's a super card either way.
If it's a super fight.
I mean, they're already super card. Yeah. It's already a super card with the fights we've mentioned.
I do want to see Usman and Colby, but I mean,
that's not like a dream for me.
Yeah.
I mean,
me either.
Honestly, bro, like,
if you know what your number 4 is, go ahead. I'll think about this a little more.
It's a hard decision for this last one. Man. I think it's gotta be. I'm blanking out. Khabib and
Tony?
no. We were just talking about coming back. GSP.
Oh, GSP. Yeah, for sure.
GSP.
Yeah,
But
Khabib, GSP.
either Khabib, GSP, I think is a good one. I mean, obviously we want Tony and Khabib to fight, but I mean, even GSP coming back to fight somebody else.
Yeah.
I mean, just GSP in a title fight is always good to me.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that's going to complete any card for me.
Yeah.
If you put GSP in there, it's going to be the most stacked super card with what we've already put in there.
Yeah.
I think GSP Khabib or GSP and I mean, who else would he fight?
55.
Well,
Hey, I guess it doesn't have to be at 55. He was at 80 his last fight. He can go to 70. He could fight
him and Usman. GSP Usman, bro.
Yeah, that'd be a good fight. Kobe'd be super pissed.
Yeah, bro.
Who else could he fight though? Like at 70, man.
GSP Usman or GSP? I mean, Tyron Woodley.
Oh shit, GSP Woodley.
Savage.
I think hasn't Woodley been training with GSP, or haven't they trained together?
Yeah, I think they might be.
I think he's training with him now or something.
Yeah, probably.
That'd be a crazy fight.
Either
though.
way, intense. I mean, can you imagine that being on your
man?
Just go back and add up the cards we've had, and then at the end have a GSP fight.
Yeah,
And then that's
crazy.
You start off with a GSP title fight, and then you go into the other fights we mentioned.
Man,
What was my main one? Max and Connor. Like what?
dude, there's some
most pay-per-views you've ever seen.
Yeah, those would be some crazy fights, man. I know they'd never do a card like that. You might get, which we've had three title fights on a card before, and they all lost. UFC 2, whatever that was, when
Yeah, I remember that.
TJ, Cody, Rose, and Namajunas, and
GSP, yeah.
Rose and Joanna. Yeah, and GSP Bisping. Yeah, that was a crazy card, and to see three title fights and they all the champs lose. That was
that's
insane.
wild. You don't see that very often.
Never.
I'd love to see that many. I'd love to see a card like that again. It's going to sell when they do stuff like that.
For sure.
Crazy buys on that, but I think that was pretty awesome. Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, it's this was on the fly. If we would have had more time to really sit down and map this out, it could have maybe been better.
I like doing it on the fly, though.
Yeah, I do too. It's like,
yeah, it's more fun.
What do you think right now? Like, let's go.
Think about it right now.
Yeah.
Exactly. Anybody out there, let us know on Facebook or Instagram or something. Maybe shoot us a DM or a comment or something. Let us know what y'all's Mount Rushmore for this would be. Let us know what y'all disagree with or agree with. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. If you have a list of your own,
stream fights are.
Yeah, if you have a list of your own, shoot them out to us. We'll post them up or something.
Yeah, we'll do whatever.
Not that we have like a ton of followers, but I want to interact with people who listen.
Yeah, we love the feedback.
We haven't gotten a lot of like people.
Not a whole lot. We got a little bit.
Yeah, I want to see the feedback. Like if you disagree, tell me why, and let's have a debate, man. I like to debate.
Yeah, that would be fun.
And
we're Untrained Experts on Instagram, Untrained Experts on Facebook. If y'all want to go give us a like, maybe give us a review. We're on iTunes, Apple, everything.
Spotify, everywhere.
Spotify,
you
Google
find
Play.
it everywhere.
We're on everything. You can find. Give us a review if you don't mind.
Yeah, tell your
reach
mama,
out to us.
tell your friends, tell your aunt, uncle,
Yep.
cousins, tell everybody.
Yep.
We're trying to grow this thing, man.
We're looking forward to doing some live streaming and some kind of like our live reaction to some upcoming cards we got. The November card. And
yeah, that'd be fun.
Another card I think we're all for. So I'm super excited for that and just something to look forward to. So,
yeah, hopefully we can get this Twitch thing going too. We can start getting some videos out. That'd be fun.
Yeah, something just more content for y'all to enjoy. But I guess that's about it for this week.
Yeah, I think so.
We'll see y'all next week. This is Untrained Experts.
Peace.
Peace.